Hey guys, what's going on? Thought I'd tell you a little bit more about a course and a mentor and a guru, essentially one of the oldest, and I wouldn't say oldest, but most established gurus in the industry. I notice a lot of people are going away from stocks, so I thought I'd just kind of show you some examples of why you might not want to be so dismissive of penny stocks. I've noticed over the last decade of trading that a lot of people have turned to options rather than to stocks. And a lot of the appeal of that is that options can move 30, 40, 50, 100% very quickly. But penny stocks are also capable of the same thing. They've had a bit of a bad rap because generally the underlying companies are kind of scammy. And so the association with the people that trade them can also be like, oh, it's some sort of scam. But really, the people that are trading a lot of these penny stocks on these pumps are actually very smart people who are just taking advantage of the fact that the company is pumping its stock and with promotions or whatever. So thought I'd do a video about this because the market is taking a hard downturn and there's only certain strategies that are working in this market. One I talked about yesterday was thetatraders.com. How Lance is basically positioning himself so that if the market goes up, down, or sideways, still make money. The other one I talked about was another catalyst-driven event system, which is by Brian Bottarelli. Again, I'll leave these links in the description below if you missed it. These are systems that should still make profit, even if the market goes on a downtrend, even if it reverses quickly. A lot of people are freaking out because the market reversals caught them unawares, and they've been long for so long that they end up taking losses as the market turns over. And some people will be like, oh, well, why don't you just do puts? Well, it's not so easy, right? Because we don't know when the market's going to turn again, whether it will turn upwards, when it turns downwards. Nobody knows when that's going to happen. So, yeah, it's a very interesting time at the moment. So I'm trying to go through a series where I talk about these different programs or potential strategies that can help you even when the market is just crazy like it's been recently. So you guys probably saw me talk about this a few months ago, and I wanted to revisit it. So what I did is I bought Timothy Sykes' Weekend Windfalls and Catalyst Alerts. I just haven't gotten around to actually doing the courses until now. So I thought I'd start talking about a little bit more about what's in these courses, and I've not got to the Catalyst Alerts yet, but I'll talk about what's in the Weekend Windfalls trade video training. So far I've done video 1, and it's been really good. So I thought I would talk a little bit about that, a little bit about Timothy Sykes, my history with Tim Sykes, and his sort of past and success in the industry. Obviously, if you guys don't know who he is, he's a pioneer of penny stock trading. Basically, he was an injured tennis player, and so his parents gave him 12,000 of his bar mitzvah money, and they really thought he was just going to blow it, and it would be like a life lesson, and don't trade the stock market. But actually, 20 years later, and I can't believe it's 20 years. I started trading over a decade ago, and he was already well into this, obviously a decade in or so, and he has made over 7 million in trading profits. All his profits now are going to charities, which is really interesting. He has over 30 millionaire students, which is ridiculous, really. So this guy is like one of the founding fathers of this industry. So it's weird that I haven't talked more about him over the years. And I'm kind of revisiting it now because I'm kind of leaning more towards penny stocks as well. And I see a lot of people bashing them like, oh, penny stocks are a scam. The actual companies can be a scam, but the pumps can make you a lot of money. So it's like, that's what we care about, right? So anyway, he's done thousands of video lessons and webinars. I've known about this guy. I've had personal contact with him. And he really is a real trader in an industry that is full of fake traders. And it's interesting because he gets so much grief for trading things that are considered scams, like stocks that are under $1, whatnot. Usually he's trading under $5. But the guy's the real deal, and part of the problem was he used a lot of flash advertising, like lifestyle advertising back in the day, when you see him in his yellow Lambo or an orange Lambo driving around. That was all just marketing to get his business up. But people again mistake marketing for the actual product, so you got to be careful about that. I made some notes on the first video lesson that I did on his weekend. So what's it called? His weekend. Let's see, where are we? It's like Weekend Windfalls kind of thing. Weekend Windfall Trade video training. So this is only $7, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can sign up for this yourself. I don't want to tell you everything that's in every video, but I thought I'd give you kind of an overview to see if this is something that might interest you, and then you get the potential to get alerts and things as well. So let's get going on that a little bit. So Timothy Sykes, 20 years trading penny stocks. He explains in the first video why he is an expert at this. Well, he's been doing it for 20 years. He explains why it's an edge and how he trades these things on Fridays, and why there's inefficiencies on Fridays that really help him make money doing this. So you can basically buy a penny stock on a Friday and then cash out on the Monday, because people are slow. People take Fridays off, which is crazy. But he exploits this inefficiency with penny stocks. And so penny stocks can move fast. They can move 50%, 100% within a day or two, or even the same day. It's crazy. And so this is something that's really interesting to me, because it doesn't matter if the market's going down. These are catalyst events. These are news that are coming out. These are pumps that are being sent out via newsletters to people. These are things I've scalped in the past, where I've scalped people's alert services, where there's a catalyst, which is the alert going out, and I've scalped that for profits, thousands of dollars in a few minutes at times. So I really like this style of trading, and it's something that I might go towards a little bit more now that the market's becoming more and more unpredictable and going downwards again. So like I said, he calls himself a proud coward. These are just notes that I took during the thing, by the way, so not some sort of professional presentation here. He's a proud coward because he takes profits quickly, probably more quickly than he should. He has 30 plus millionaire students, which is insane. One of the most famous is a guy called Tim Grittani. You should Google him. He's made over $15 million using these types of strategies, which is insane. And one of the things that Tim is talking about a lot, and it's hard to verify if this is true or not, but he's used a lot of his money over the years to build over 114 schools in Bali, which is awesome. So he's really giving back. I'm sure he gets a tax write-off for that, but at the same time, that's pretty cool. And so the whole idea with this strategy is these short-term promo spikes basically cause the underlying, like the stock, so you don't even have to worry about options, you don't have to worry about Greeks or time decay or anything. You're just buying these cheap low float stocks, and that's something he talks about in his first video in his weekend trades video series for $7, which again I'll leave a link in the description below. He talks about the float, the market cap, the bid, the ask margin, longs, how to find brokers that you want to use, why trade is like these OTCs and pink sheets, which are the worst of the worst companies, but you can ride the pumps both up and down if you know what you're doing, with his guidance, which is really cool. And so he talks about things like the trading the first hour and the last hour of the day, but really it comes down to these Fridays. Why is it that he can buy on a Friday and then sell on a Monday for a huge profit on a penny stock? Well, the main reason is because this inefficiency, right? So people take Fridays off and they miss the news. So there'll be news out and he can get in right as the news hits, and then people are lagging and they end up buying on the Monday and the thing rockets up. And he gives plenty of examples in his videos showing exactly this scenario. So if you buy his $7 course, you'll see this in action exactly as he explains. So that's kind of what the idea is here. The fact that there's a market immunity here is because of these companies, because they're so tiny and speculative, their floats are so low, barely any business, so any news at all moves them, and it moves them so much that it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if the SPY is dropping huge, these things still spike. Any PRs, any promotion, any surge in buying from his chat room or other people's chat room or anything cause these things to move massively. 50, 100, 200, 300% gains from the Friday to the Monday or any other day of the week, but usually Fridays to Mondays is what he's doing. And so it's pretty cool, and he's done this for 2 decades now. So here's a brief overview into what you can expect from his short course. It's not that short. The first video was like an hour and 20 minutes, which I just watched. I still have all this to go. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I looked up a quick recent pump, right? So like this is it's currently the 16th. So you can see that this has jumped massively. It's jumped 100% over the last few days, whilst the market is kind of, in a lot of people's opinion, tanked, right? So that's 100% gain in that particular pump, whilst the SPY has dropped quite a bit. So you can see it's really turning over here in the last few days. So you can see that the value of these pumped stocks, is it JAG-Z? JAG-X? I don't know what it was, but go back to, let's see. I'm on futures, that might be part of the problem. So it's either JAG-Z or JAG-X. Let's try JAG-X. I just found one randomly that had pumped really hard Yeah, so it was Jagex. And so you can make money very quickly buying into these things on like the Friday here. So you can see my cursor's on the Friday. That was on the 12th, so 4 days ago. And then boom, the Monday comes. And look at this thing, just up 100%, more than 100%, like 200%. It's very, very quickly. This isn't one that Tim Sykes played or anything. It's just an example that I came up with. Here's Tim. He has a ton of pictures of himself. He comes across a little egotistical sometimes. He takes a lot of promotional pictures in nice locations. Here's him flying into some canyon, maybe the Grand Canyon. I don't know where that is. Looks like the Grand Canyon. Here's him with a helicopter sitting on a tree branch over what looks like a huge drop, but probably isn't. So this guy's definitely a character. He loves his lifestyle marketing. No Lambos in any of these pictures, just exotic locations. So pretty interesting overall. So this is the start of what I'm going to do here, is like basically a series about, is this $7 course worth your time? So $7 is nothing obviously to you guys. I'll leave a link so you can sign up and do this video course yourself. But if you're new to penny stocks, if you've just traded options, which it's really weird to me, a lot of people have traded options. When I first started out, I only traded penny stocks for years. Options were this foreign concept to me. And so now everybody's getting straight into options and thinking penny stocks are some sort of scam. It's very weird. It's the way trends seem to go. And so I really think you guys are probably going to enjoy this course. It's $7. It's quite a few hours of your time to go through, but from what I've seen, the material is very good. Tim's a really good teacher, and he really explains his mindset and his mythology and things very carefully in video 1, which is what I'm talking about right now. It's all I've done. And then, of course, you can sign up for like a $20 thing where you get Catalyst X alerts, which I've also signed up for. So I'm excited to talk about those once I get started on them as well. But hopefully that gives you some idea of what to expect. Basically, the contents of the course are pretty simple. He does an introduction. He talks about the common terms, all the stuff you need to know if you're like a real beginner in terms of like what is margin, what is all this stuff. He talks about a lot of the real trading realities, like the people that make money and the people that don't. So it's kind of like he doesn't mince his words. He's just like, if you're not going to cut your losses quickly, you're going to die in this industry. So he's very adamant about things like that. And I think it's a good kick in the nuts for some people that really is needed. He talks about the mechanics and the tools that he uses. He talks about the best setups that he uses and the top patterns, and also about all the questions he gets. And the questions are always things like, oh, aren't you a scammer? Aren't you this? Aren't penny stocks a scam? And he goes through them all and explains it, like basically in minute detail, why people are wrong about penny stocks in general, and why they've kind of fallen out of sort of favor and trend with the general public. Now, he advocates not buying these things as investments, obviously. You'd have to be stupid to buy a penny stock for 0.1 cents, or $0.1 and think that this thing is going to go to the moon. The chances of it being a pump where it goes up 300% and then down to 0 is pretty high. But it doesn't matter if you learn how to trade like Tim does. You can actually make money going up on the pump, recognizing who's pumping it, how they're pumping it, and then money on the downside as it starts to turn over and sell off. You can short them, and so there's money to be made in these things. So this is why I'm talking about this right now, because this is not really prone to the market. This is an independent thing, and for a long time when I was trading penny stocks as a new trader, I didn't even know what the SPY really was. I didn't focus on the macro picture at all. I focused on what was happening in the news on particular stocks, particular buying volume coming in, causing spikes, and it was all based on this stuff. So I think it's fantastic. I really enjoy this. I think it's a blast from my past, and I think it's something that more people would benefit from. So if you're interested in this at all, just check the description below, and I'll leave a link for the course. It's really low cost, and it won't take you that long. You can watch this video in an hour and 20 minutes while you're doing other stuff. You can listen to him narrating stuff. And I'll talk about some of the other videos as I go through them in future videos as well. But hopefully this has inspired you guys just to get the weekend windfall trade video training, and maybe even something like the Catalyst X alerts from Tim Sykes. I think it's a good time in the market's particular movement at the moment to get involved in something that maybe is outside of your comfort zone. I saw some guy today saying that like he keeps getting bombarded by penny stock alert scams. Well, this is not a scam. This is like just a way to take advantage of people who may or may not, under legal definitions, be scamming people in terms of like the companies, not the alert services, but the companies sometimes if you think about it, if a company is a scam, you can often predict the manipulation and play the manipulation. So it's pretty interesting the way that works. Anyway, hopefully that's helpful. Make sure you sign up for this. It's only $7, like I said. I saw a lot of people signed up for it the last time I talked about it, and I think there's 8 lessons here. Even if you just do those 8 or 9 lessons, you'll be in a better position. Maybe you'll start looking for these big gainers that move from Fridays to Mondays and make you significant profits. Hopefully it's helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.